Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on into today's topic for the 6th. Sorry, I didn't get this out last night. I was busy having a party. And so, yes, it was a nice little dinner party, nice little celebration. So, with that in mind, though, let's get into this. By the way, happy full moon. Guys, know that I will be putting out the rest of our zodiacs throughout today, and probably more will be done this evening, okay? Because I will be gone in the middle of the day today. But tonight, we will get all of the full moon messages out. I did 5 zodiacs yesterday. We'll get to the rest, including Cancer over on the other channel. Okay, so hi guys, so nice to see everybody. Also, remember these today's topic videos are the ones where I leave the comments on. If you want to write the word compassion in the comments after I'm done with this live video recording, then just know that gets you entered to win, because every Monday I go through and randomly select a winner, and I do a little storytelling for whomever our winner is each week. Also, don't forget, guys, I have just made the announcement that each week from now all the way up until January, I'm going to be going live on each channel for about 30 minutes. This just happens once a week. It'll be at random. Hasn't happened this week yet, by the way, so that is still coming. But I will be going live for like 30 minutes, 40, somewhere in there, on the channel, on this and on Tarot Dog, and doing card pulls for subscribers to say thank you, guys, and just to, I don't know, just have a little bit more fun. I always like to say thank you, guys, especially around the holidays, and I thought that might be nice because then everybody gets a little bit more of an opportunity. So keep your notification bells turned on, because like I say, it'll be once a week on both channels. It won't necessarily be same time or same day or anything on the 2 channels. I want to mix it up as much as I can, so people in different time zones get different opportunities throughout these next 2 months. So thank you guys so much for making my channel what it is. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And I'll make a post about this too to give everybody the heads up. All right, so here we go. What is our message for the 6th? I know I'm putting this out in advance. That is because I have watchers in different places of the world. We have got the Wild card first coming out sideways. We've got the Temperance card upright, and we've got the 8 of Cups. And by the way, this is for November. Oh gosh, make sure that I titled this properly. Yes, okay. Whew. Last time I did this, I was titling it as an October, not as a November. Sorry, it's just tough to remember we're this far into the year. Hi, guys. Wild card is sideways. That throws me a little bit, to be honest, because we have a feminine who's like, I am comfortable, I am walking away, but I'm still looking back over my shoulder and maybe coming to peace with things that have already happened, especially during this full moon, right? This is a super moon. This is some big energy. And I just have to say, no matter what she's feeling today, there could be a surprise in store for her. Okay. So keep in mind the energy of a full moon lasts like 3 days at least. And so even though this is for the 6th and I'm recording it today on the 5th, we could still have some surprise in store for this feminine on the 6th. We've got the Hierophant and that Ace of Swords. She's opening up her crown chakra and she's discovering a truth. So the surprise might not be something that's showing up like in her world per se, but maybe this moment of clarity. She thought she had made peace with something. She thought she'd walked away from something. And yet she's looking back over her shoulder. And I actually think that there was another like nugget of wisdom or something. Now, bear in mind, she could be a he could be a she, doesn't matter. I don't read for genders. This could be a Sagittarius or a Taurus specifically. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and we got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. If the moment of sudden, like, wow, I didn't expect to see the past like that, I'm reflecting. And keep in mind, supermoons are really good for bringing messages up from our subconscious to our forefront, and then we release it. And although this doesn't need to be a supermoon message, obviously, the moon is still going to be impacting our characters, right? So I think her extra moment of awareness, extra like sudden inspirational like moment of clarity, this is going to sound rude anyway, so I'm hemming and hawing about saying it out loud. I think she realizes she wasn't that attracted to somebody in the past, somebody that she may have said, I had to walk away from them. This was a, like it was a tough thing to do, but I had to walk away. And I almost think that what's so unexpected here is that as her crown chakra like gets this download on the 6th, she may have the sudden realization, I don't think that I was that into them. I think I was into what maybe could be, but honestly, what we had at the time, it wasn't that satisfying. I think I met somebody that maybe, if anything, I was looking forward to meeting them later on in life. Maybe I knew it then. They are somebody who wasn't done with a journey in their life, and honestly, maybe neither was I. We got the Four of Swords. We definitely see her saying, I knew from the beginning, I knew from the gate, I was not going to stay with that person at that point in time. I think she's just now acknowledging this, hearing this, allowing this download to come in. Because sometimes the Four of Swords is when we go silent and we let a message that's been sitting right there all this time, we finally get the message. We finally tune into it. But I think this is her saying, oh my God, the person that I did have to walk away from, and I thought I had to make peace with that. The truth of it is, I knew from the first time I met them, I'm not really supposed to have them as my lover right now. Maybe later on, but I knew it from the gate. I knew I probably shouldn't have tangoed with them. We have a Five of Cups, we have the Strength card. That could be like just her being aware of it, but also saying, so wait, did I put myself through a whole lot of unnecessary grief? I'm not going to say anything in life is ever unnecessary. Everything's a process. Okay. So I made some food last night and I tried out like 3 brand new recipes. And at the end of the dinner, I said, I just want everyone to know I will never make these items for you again because they weren't very good. So I now can scratch those things off my list, right? But I did learn a couple of things where I'm like, okay, I don't care what anybody says. I'm never going to do this particular recipe in the way that it was, presented to me, because I know it's too crunchy. It's too, and the other thing was like too gooey. And so sometimes, you try out a new technique, and that's part of your process. You almost have to do the fails in order to then know more about what technique you wouldn't use again. And I'm using cooking as an example because that's low stakes, right? All it is, well, it's high stakes, right? We all know how expensive groceries are now. But at the same time, it was edible, but I can definitely do better. So we can scratch some stuff off the list for next time. And that's great. So the process wasn't wasted. I was irritated at the time because I'm like, oh, it didn't even taste good. It was money, it was time, it was, and I wanted it to be good, but it just wasn't. It was like a 5 out of 10, edible, but nobody wants that again. That kind of thing is a bummer. But the process, I gained something out of it. So nothing to be sad over, all said and done. And I would just say for her in this story, if the big message coming through on the 6th is that she realizes, I knew from the beginning we weren't going to make it as a couple at that moment in time. I knew that. I knew I shouldn't have even been trying to be a couple. I knew that this was a relationship that maybe could be something later. But in truth, I knew from the very first moment it wasn't time for us now. I met somebody and maybe I was really bummed that I even had to go through this whole thing instead of just listening to my instincts. Or maybe I was bummed because I wanted it to work out now, but I knew it wasn't going to. This might have pushed her toward other like relationships in her life, like really bonding more with friends, or heck, like if she had a lot of loneliness after this relationship, even though deep down she knew from the gate, this isn't the right time. We're not going to be successful together right now. There's potential later, but right now we shouldn't try this. If this is what she's reflecting on, this was coming to the surface, I think she had some sorrows over it, but it might have also, I don't know, she leaned more toward like pets, animals, we just see her cuddling that baby lion. Sometimes we pour our energy into other things to keep our mind busy when we're disappointed over something, but maybe that is something else she needed to do. We have the Knight of Wands, which can be, maybe she started dating more, figuring out more about herself. I don't think she gave her heart to anybody else because I think she really wanted to give it to this person. I do. But I think it's like, but I knew it wasn't going to work and I knew I shouldn't give him my heart. But I have a lot of love to give. And so I want to create strong bonds, but maybe I need to make strong bonds with other things in my life. And maybe I need to still have some lessons that I learn about other things that I want. This could be creativity. This could be that she had to explore a couple of different like career opportunities. Maybe she had to go live in some different cities. The Knight of Wands doesn't have to just be like player energy, and it doesn't have to be the energy of like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's more like exploratory to get a really good idea of like what we want. So ironically, it wasn't so much she met this person in the past. She wanted to be in this long-term connection, but she knew deep down they're not ready. The truth of it is she wasn't ready either with that Knight of Wands. They're both knights. Knights are action takers. They're not ready to settle. She wasn't any more ready to settle down than he was. Not really. So this love story was, I'm not going to say doomed from the beginning. This love story was one to say, I met a great person. Someday when we're both done doing all these other things that we must do for our growth, for our exploration, that's when we'll reconnect. And I just think that's a great message because this changes it. There really isn't anything to be sad about, all said and done. We have a 10 of Wands. We have the Tower in the reverse. Oh my God, the 6th is such a great day to relax energy and to not think that anything is over or collapsed. Rather, this thing never got a chance to get off the ground. The time hasn't even come for this, which could mean that in the future, these two will still reunite. It could mean maybe they will have grown in different directions. They never were meant to be. But the bottom line is there's nothing to grieve because it wasn't even possible. Not for her, not for him. It doesn't matter what genders we're talking about, but on the 6th, there's like such a freedom from this stress. And there's also the opportunity for anything could still happen in the upcoming future. 10 of Swords, this is a real release from the concept of, but if it didn't work at that point in time, then it must not work. This says don't put timelines on stuff, especially not timelines where our hearts are concerned. There's no way to tell how things are really supposed to go. We have a Queen of Pentacles here sideways. This is so nice. She's like regaining this sense of, oh, it's true. I'm actually still putting down roots. I'm actually still growing as a person. I'm gaining abundance and security, and I'm learning how to go with a little bit more of the flow, a little bit more of however my life is supposed to like blossom and really take root. Okay, this full moon this is a wonderful full moon for her. Just because this is illuminating not only the mysteries, but it's also illuminating what has been in her subconscious all this time, which is that she always knew they could still be the one for her, but neither one of them was ready. This would be like if we see a brand new business pop up and it's like, they're not hiring right now because there's such a new startup. Meanwhile, I don't have some of the skills that I would need to go work for them, but I really want to work for them at some point in time. I want to be there, and I still feel like at some point in time, this could happen. This says, yeah, that's very possible, but no point in twiddling thumbs and being bummed that it's not happening at the moment. There's something about being graceful about the timing and seeing things through this different lens, even where there are supposedly delays. They're not really delays. Things are growing the way they're supposed to. So final message for her on this. 8 of Pentacles. She's actually right now, the only person she needs to focus on is just her growth on the 6th, because she's about to make some pretty massive breakthroughs in some things that she's wanted for herself. Whether this is career, whether this is personal growth, this full moon has taught her, like, this has been about me to a certain extent, not about were they ready, were they not ready. I personally have wanted to make some pretty nice big achievements in my own life. And I'm realizing I'm really getting there a lot faster than what I thought. I think it's a sudden acceleration. I think she's going to feel very content with the fabric of her life all of a sudden. But she needed just a little bit more time to only focus on her, is what I see here. Actually, I love this one. All right, I am going to go ahead and pull a little birthday message here. We're going to leave that one there. I know this is kind of a short and sweet one for the November 6th, but that's as far as we need to take it for that one. All right, so a message for November the 6th for a birthday on that date. We have a Two of Pentacles, we have a King of Cups, we have an Ace of Pentacles. We do have a character who's going to have a choice in the next year, perhaps to choose love or to choose a totally different new beginning in their life. Now, this could represent a totally different person, a choice between two, or this could be a choice to be with a partner and figure out how are we going to, am I going to live with you? Are you going to live with me? Let's get this thing balanced. Let's figure out how to do this. We do have strong Capricorn, also Cancers, Pisces, Scorpio, also some Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. But this is like, there's choices on where to live and there's choices on how to like engage in the context of love in this upcoming year. She may sit on the fence for just a little bit. It doesn't matter if this is a masculine or a feminine. Everything in life is about choices. And it's always two people who have to make the choices. But it looks like one person is going to be much more like, even like determined. But don't forget, just because somebody is very determined, like, I want to love you, I'll come and be with you. She may not want this person to come be with her. She might say, hang on now, let's not live together too soon. Or hang on now, let's figure out how we both get balance. Even if you're gung-ho and willing to come move with me, that would take you too far away from your family. What if we do 6 months together here, 6 months together there? We got to make it work for both of us. The next energy of the next year is we have to make sure that we get it right, which means there needs to be more negotiation, particularly in matters of the heart and matters of like finances and, like the logistics of what makes life powerful and able to grow and feel stable. It's not just about love, it's also about stability. So kind of nice on that one as well. You guys, thank you so much. It's so good to see everybody. Oh, Camila, thank you, love. Fees Mystic Faith. Hi, honey. Air Bubble. EM. You sweetheart. EM, that was you. I couldn't remember who had gifted that to Fees Mystic Faith. Thank you again, beauty. EM, you're so incredible. Caitlin V, my pleasure, babe. Hi, Tina. You guys, always wonderful to see you. Elemental I. Thank you so much. Heather Cowdrick. Hi, babe. G. Michelle. Hi, sweetie. Happy Wednesday to you also. Annie S. Awesome to see you. Hi, Kins. Rainia Kamal. Truly Naturally. Hetty. Hi, sweetie. Melissa Estes. A delight to catch you. And EM, you're first in the house. Robin. Bonnie Beck. Catherine. Marikai Healing Arts. Lindsay. Thank you so much, everybody. Good to see you all. All right. I will see you guys again later on this evening. Right after this, I will release the single storyline that I've already recorded, but I had to edit out an Aries bark, but he does make an appearance at about the 8-minute mark. So you will see him, but I took out his barking. Mermaid Infinity Rainbow. Hi, babe. Mermaid Tails. So good to see everybody. Air Bubble. Thank you, babe. All right, you guys, I'll see you again for the single storyline. And then later on this evening, we will get to all of the zodiacs. Well, afternoon and evening. Lots of love. Bye, guys. Thanks for being here.